Hello everyone, welcome back to Vlogmas 2021 day 10. This is Heike. I have my little furry assistant Lola, the ragdoll cat, right next to me on her chair, but she's still thinking about joining. She's not entirely sure yet. Yeah, I'm going to try and she's joining. She is joining. Wait a second. There she is. Hi. Yeah, how could we do this without you? So I thought I would give it a try. I had to decide against filming yesterday because I felt very much like I am coming down with a cold. Honestly, right now I feel like that again. I was good this morning when I got up, and I was good I think until noon, and since afternoon I've been starting to feel foggy again, so not sure what this is all about, but it seems to be on a bit of a cycle right now. Well, it is December 10th. I have just finished work and I am officially now on vacation for the rest of the year. There are still a few things I will have to do on Monday. I will have to log in and complete a few things because people are just idiots and don't answer for, well, one of them for 1.5 days. The other one probably was not in today, but has never heard of an out of office notice. So yeah, I decided to stop waiting for answers at 5 p.m, which brought me to the 9.5 hour working mark anyway. So I hate it when people do that, and I've been low-key annoyed for the last 3 days, so that didn't help the case. Anyway, I am on vacation now. I will log in on Monday. I will do a couple of tasks on Monday, and then I am going to tell everyone where to stick it and just relax for a while. I know that at least a few of you were aware that Rachel had actually planned to come here. She was supposed to arrive this Sunday, but we sadly had to decide to postpone the whole thing due to Panini reasons. Things have just gone to bad again in both our countries, and we decided it was too much of a risk to have her fly over here and not be sure if she could just fly back like she planned to, if she had to stay longer, if she had to jump through several hoops to get back into Ireland. So we decided to postpone, and we have now tentatively focused on Easter. So let's keep your fingers crossed that there will be no new variants, no new catastrophes, no nothing in April, because I can't any longer. We've been planning this, I think, for at least 18 months now, if not 2 years. It's getting ridiculous. Anyway, 3.5 minutes in, let's talk about some crafty things, shall we? I have not knit yesterday, so I'm not going to show you an update on the shawl from my mother. I will have to sit down now and give it some love if I really want to finish it before Christmas. That being said, I'm pretty sure we are not going to see each other on Christmas anyway. But I did stitch yesterday, not for long. Again, I felt kind of foggy. I think I stitched for about 2 hours or so. And I managed to catch up on... Ooh, sorry, kitty. I managed to catch up on the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery Cozy Café stitch along. And you might notice, if you've been here for the last floss tube I filmed whenever, probably like 3 million years ago, that this piece is actually now completely caught up. I have added the beads in. I decided to do so because I had completed the upper half, and I now can just leave the frame in this big size without having to adjust the fabric to complete the last cup down here. So that was the perfect time to add the beads in and catch this up completely. And I'm kind of happy that I decided to add in the beads. Let's not say kinda happy. I am happy that I decided to add in the beads. I mean, I like beading anyway. I've added beads in on several stitch-alongs last year that were not supposed to have beads, so I am obviously someone who enjoys beading. But I'm really glad that I did it on this because it gives the piece so much more fun details that it wouldn't have if I left out the beads. So yep, here we go. I'm going to give you a bit of a close-up of the drops that I showed you before that have beads. These beads here on the cherry blossoms are actually all from one bead color, but they vary quite a bit in colors, and this is really fun. Also, they seem to have a bit more color variation on top of a color that is not super close to what they are, because down here in this one, for example, that's the same beads, but it's not as obvious. I mean, in the camera it's a bit more obvious than when you're just looking at it. Yeah, it's a fun bead color. So this little fox is the latest cup I stitched. This is actually the October drop, but I decided, I think I spoke about that in the last video, I decided to not stitch this one right away because I wanted to keep it as a treat, because it's so cute. I initially had even thought about keeping it to last, but they gave a little hint on what the last drop will be, and I think the last cup we will get in about the 25th is Christmas, so they are going to release it early. I'm thinking maybe 23rd. Should be some kind of cute cup, because they were talking about foam art, and it's probably going to be a little creature, maybe a snowman made out of foam. The cup will be blue if I interpret the blurred image correctly. So then we have these dark gray beads. They are not black, they are very dark charcoal gray on the tin, the can, mimicking as seeds for the fruits. And then on this one here we have the champagne colored one as the sprinkles on the donut. Up here are the goldish brown ones. I guess they are supposed to be bubbles, I'm not entirely sure, but they are cute. Again, the red ones here on the panda cup. And that's all of them right now. Choop, 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 choop. So this is stitched with nearly all of the called for colors. It's all DMC. The only one I replaced is the white. I am not using a white cotton floss, I'm using white silk. It is not stark white, but it's still white, so I'm quite happy with that. And stitching with white silk is so much nicer than stitching with cotton. It's so much nicer, and the stitches turn out so much prettier, so I'm very happy about that. And I think I'm going to continue this habit of using white silk instead of the cotton floss if I have a lot of white in a piece. The fabric is 28 count Picture This Plus linen in the color opal. And yeah, the needle minder is by I think she calls herself now Crafting with Didi. I'm sorry if I got it wrong, Didi. I still want to call you Dutch Dog Diamond Painting. But I think it's Crafting with Didi. She sent those to me last year for Christmas, was it? Was it last year? I have the brain of, I don't know, an aunt probably. So yeah, this is caught up, and I'm quite happy about that, because now I can put all my attention on the Owl Forest Alice in Wonderland cell. Owl Forest has decided to release the last two parts early, so that means they have released the second to last part today, and I think the last part will actually be dropped next week, Friday, which also means that theoretically I have a chance to finish my last running stitch along this year too, but on the other hand, I am now 4 parts behind. It's quite a bit of stitching, so I don't know if it's actually feasible to stitch 5 parts of this stitch along plus the last cup plus the last Animal Crossing animal. We shall see. I mean, there is no pressure to finish it. Well, have a seat, won't you? To finish it before the the year actually turns over into 2022. So I'm not going to put that pressure on myself either. I hope you're enjoying your stay on my cross stitch. I guess it hurts now. So, and I think about a week ago I said I was going to have a bit of a cross stitch haul with you because I purchased a few things digitally over Black Friday, and I also placed my very first cross stitchy supply haul with one of my local shops in quite a few months. So I wanted to share this with you, and we're going to start with the hard copy patterns. I got the last two of the little monthly samplers, the sampler of the month by Cottage Needleworks. That was their year-long running thing this year. I got all of the patterns except July. July is very American, obviously, and I'm still trying to work out how I could de-Americanize it a bit to make it more for my country. But I don't want to go the patriotic route because we just don't do that here in Germany for reasons. And I'm actually not someone who likes to wave flags and stuff like that. So I got the little November sampler, which is also, of course, very American with the Thanksgiving theme, but this is cute everywhere because we have something similar to Thanksgiving, just not with the very typical clothes here. So I can absolutely live with that easily. And then of course December, don't hold it up too high, with the glare is real, with the little Christmas motifs. This is so cute. I have not started on this yet. I have not decided if I want to stitch them individually or if I want to make a big sampler. At the beginning of this year-long thing, they said it is not supposed to be stitched as one piece, but I still want to, kinda. Look at me being a rebel. Anyway, then I had a look around and I found another Cottage needlework piece that is a newer release. It is called Greetings from the North Pole, and I just thought this was so cute. Last year I stitched the 12 Days of Christmas for my mother-in-law. Also a very cute piece. I just found the colors to be a bit drab, and I'm still thinking about doing that one for myself one day, just switching out some of the colors and give it a little more life. But this is, I think, very close to that piece in size. I have to check. But it reminded me quite a bit of it, just less words, which were very annoying, and more pretty other stuff. I mean, it has 3 houses, and houses are also not something I find super exciting to stitch, but it's not as bad as words. So I got that one, maybe for some seasonal stitching next year, when I'm not occupied with all the stitch-alongs in the world. And then I moved on to something else, which I have resisted all year, but I just couldn't any longer when I saw the 9th installment of this. And this is A Time for All Seasons by Cottage Garden Samplings. And this little squirrel, it just warmed my heart so much. It is called Gathering Acorns, and isn't that squirrel just darling? It is so cute. So I knew I had to get at least this one, and because you can't just buy one, it's like with chips, you can't just eat one. October also madly fell in love with this crow or raven on the white pumpkin with this fantastic border. I'm always in for a good border, so this is very, very pretty. I like December too, that just released. My only beef with it, I guess you could say, is that Santa, it's Santa, surprisingly, is very blonde. So yeah, that screams for a color conversion. And they have just teasered and pre-released, I would say, because it's still on pre-order in every shop I've seen it, next year's series, and I can't remember what it's called, but the first one is the most majestic fox I have ever seen. If I remember, I'm going to put the picture on screen. I am totally in for that one, and I am now kind of praying that the rest is not going to be like that, because then I have to buy them all. But the fox, holy moly, it is just. And then I found this one again, Cottage garden samplings, Christmas delivery. I don't know why, this just, I liked it, and it doesn't even have a stitched model. These here have been pre-stitched by someone, so the picture on the pattern could be a photo of the actual stitched thing. This is still a rendering, quite obviously. It has not been stitched, but isn't it the most darling thing? I have a feeling I have to stay away from cottage garden samplings, because it seems like they have patterns I can't resist. Let's put it that way. So yeah, I think this one is quite big. Well, not too big. It's 185 by 125. It's not too bad. Yeah. Loads of patterns. I don't know when to stitch, but you know what? The good thing about cross-stitching patterns, they don't go to waste. One of these days I'm going to be a retired old lady, and if I am lucky enough to still have my eyesight, I will stitch. Yeah, and on Black Friday I actually splurged on some Black Friday sales, 3 in total. First one was Tiny Modernist, I think, and I'm going to put the pictures up on screen. I noticed that at least one of the patterns is a repurchase. I actually purchased this pattern from Jessie from Mislaid Pages in the paper form. But yeah, okay, no problem. We can always give that away. But the first pattern I got is Moth and the Moon. And I don't know what it was about this pattern. I mean, I like Tiny Modernist, but Tiny Modernist is usually, at least in my book, I know they have other patterns, but in my book they are very cutesy. And this is not cute, but it is just beautiful. I couldn't not. So I purchased this pattern. I now have that twice, because I got the paper pattern too. It's still in transit, so it's not here yet, but I guess maybe a future giveaway. We shall see. Then the second one, and sorry about the clicking, but I'm actually looking at it so I can tell you what I have purchased and not fumble around, is the Nutcracker tree, which is in the same tree shape than some of the cross-stitch pattern Barbara Anna did last year for Nitka Nitka. She did, I think, 2 trees. One was a Christmas tree and one was a magic tree, methinks. I have both of these kits, of course. But it looks like Tiny Modernist also decided to do this tree design and use the Nutcracker story for that. I found it to be very cute and I wanted to stitch it. So yeah, here we go. It's wave something cute in front of me and I'm going to get it. And then I just talked about it, the 12 Days of Christmas. Tiny Modernist has a version of that as well, and I kind of liked it. I have fallen just a little bit out of love since, but who knows, I might fall back in love with it at some point. I am kind of like that, falling in, falling out of love. So it's not my favorite of the ones I got, but I think it's not a bad pattern to own. At least it doesn't have too many words. And last but not least, I got the Cat Came Back. This was one of the expo patterns. They did cat patterns this time. Last time it was cows, this time it was cats. And this, the Cat Came Back pattern, was her contribution to that, and it is super cute. I am always in for a good cat pattern as well, unsurprisingly. So let's close some windows before this gets ridiculous here. So that was Tiny Modernist. Then I got a newsletter, I think first from Autumn Lane Stitchery. They also had a sale on their patterns in the Etsy shop, and I got a couple of their black patterns. They have a whole series of these black silhouette patterns, sometimes with a bit of a color pop in it, sometimes not. I got two of them. One is the collectors, and this one has these little green fairy lights. Maybe it's demon lights, I don't know. Let's call it fairy lights, shall we? As a color pop. I've seen this stitched up. There's someone in the Autumn Lane group who is a very fast stitcher and has that already stitched up, because they haven't released that a long time ago. It's only been a newer addition to the whole collection. I like it. I just like Aaron's style. He gets me nearly every time. Why is this so big? It just opened giant. Can we make this a little bit? No, I don't think we can. This is annoying. Takes up my whole screen. Let's do it that way. Second one I got is The Witch's Spell. This has a lot more color than the other one, but I think this is also one of the oldest they have from that style of pattern. So maybe they have adjusted it a bit to tone it down. I don't know. But I like this one. It just spoke to me. It remembered me a whole lot. Even though her skin is blue, it remembered me a whole lot of Wicked. I'm a huge fan of that musical. I enjoyed it very much. I also read the book, but that book and that musical, except for the characters in it, don't have much in common. So there's that. And last but not least, I got Bewitched. Yeah, this is just a must. Bewitched is a fond memory of my childhood, so this was a must-have. Not much to say about that. But again, it's a very gorgeous pattern. Aaron is very talented to do these patterns in a quite simple way. You can see there is quite a bit of color blocking in it, so not too much fancy shading, but it still looks amazing in the end, so I'm totally up for that. And I think this pattern actually has the potential for some beads in the sparkles around her wand, for example, or in the stars in the background. This could easily be done with a few beads, and I'm thinking about that. Last but not least, another favorite designer of mine, Lindsey Stitches. She had a buy one, get one 50% off, I think, over Black Friday. And of course I did. And I didn't only just buy one, I bought four. So, Lindsey Stitches, where's that folder? That's here. The first one I got is Peacock Keeper. This is the oldest pattern from the four I got. This has been out before I even knew who she was. So I don't know exactly when she released it, but this pattern always had something that spoke to me. It was kind of quirky. I mean, Stephanie is quirky personified, let's be honest. But this pattern was a step up, so I decided to get it this time. It's just so pretty. I love the colors. And then, going by age, I got Dracula's Confession. This was a pattern she actually released last year, and I wanted to buy last year and then never did. And then I was kind of glad because it was on sale. So this is a pattern she released with two versions because she herself couldn't decide which one she liked better. And I have seen both versions stitched up so far. I think that, which one was the one that was... the portrait one, I think, is the one that more people like to stitch. It's also my favorite. So I think if I am going to stitch this, or rather when I am going to stitch this, I'm also going to do the portrait version. The other one, the letters are a bit too big for me. As you know, words, not my thing. Although Stephanie usually doesn't use boring fonts, so that makes it a little more exciting. A little bit. Still always do the font first because I don't like it. And then I got a couple of her new patterns. One was, I think, from the fall release, and it's her new bird sampler for this year, which was called Tread Softly. It's this owl. It's not a snow owl. Is it a barn owl? Not entirely sure. And as always, her bird patterns just, they are something else. I have no idea how many times I have said now this is actually not my thing, but I had to get this. It's like this with her bird patterns. I'm not a bird person, I'm a cat person, obviously. But her bird patterns just, She's having a bird club, a monthly bird club next year. If you're in the US, you can get it shipped monthly to you. If you're international, she offers to ship quarterly, so you can order club January through March and then April through June, whenever that time comes around, and so on. It's just not an auto shipment. You have to order every quarter. But I found it very nice of her to offer that to save on shipping, because shipping is always like 15-16 euro here to Germany, dollar to Germany, and it is nice not to have to pay the same amount on shipping for something than as the pattern would cost, you know. That's just ridiculous and annoying. So yay, thank you, Stephanie. And last but not least, because I am slowly starting to fade here, you might have noticed that, I got Into All a Good Night. It is one of her newest releases. It is one of her Christmas patterns, and it was just mine. I had to. This pattern, it's just so pretty. The border, the reindeer, the sleigh with the snowman in the sleigh, the horse, the kitty under the roof. There's always some kind of cat in her samplers. Unless it's a bird sampler, then not. I dig that. I mean, she's a crazy cat lady too, so what do you expect? Yeah, and that's my very big haul. Let's not talk about it. I shouldn't buy that many patterns, let's be honest. I mean, I finished my cross stitches, but still the cross stitch takes a lot of time. It's like knitting. I own a yarn shop by now. Well, there's that. Last but not least, let's have a look at today's Little Bish's skein of yarn from her advent calendar. Last time you saw the cotton candy pink, so today is... Oh, this is gorgeous. It's another pink base, but you can see there's a lot going on with the pink. It's also not the same tone as the one from yesterday. It's a bit more vintage and muted, and there's a lot going on in this. There's black and purple and green and orange and yellow. There's a lot going on. So what is it called? I think this is supposed to say sugar plum. Yeah. Okay, so this is sugar plum. Pretty. And that's what I want from an advent calendar. Different colors each day and a bit more excitement. And that's all I'm going to say on that. Anyway, thank you for joining me today. I'm not entirely sure if I will be able to film on Saturday and Sunday. Well, I will be able to if I don't come down with this damn cold that is teasing me. I don't know if I want to, let's be honest. But I will be back on Monday. All right. Have a good day, everyone. Bye.